And now, with all this said, please join me in warmly welcoming the President of Lung Cancer Europe, Debra Montague. Debra, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Vienna, and welcome to, yes, our very first Lung Cancer Europe conference. I've been looking forward to this moment for a long time, and now that we are here with over 140 people in the room, I just want to take a moment to appreciate what this actually is. We have members here today who have been part of this community for years, and they show up, and they put their people, I can't speak, who show up for people affected by lung cancer across Europe every single day, often with very little resource and very little recognition. We have researchers, clinicians and policymakers who are working on some of the hardest problems in lung cancer. We have partners and guests who bring knowledge, influence and resource that this community needs. And we have people in this room who are living with lung cancer or who have lost someone to it. That is a remarkable group of people to be in the room with, and I do not take it for granted for 1 second. For those of you who are new to Lung Cancer Europe, let me tell you who we are and what we do here. We're the voice of Europeans impacted by or at risk of lung cancer. We're an umbrella organisation that brings together lung cancer patient advocacy groups from across Europe. We build the evidence, we amplify the voices of those affected by lung cancer, and we use all of it to push for change in lung cancer policy, research and care. Our member organisations do extraordinary work. Many of them run on minimal funding with volunteer hours and personal commitment. They support people through diagnosis and treatment, and they advocate in their national health systems. They collect data, they run campaigns, and they make sure the people that they represent are not invisible. This conference exists because of them. We have a charter launched this year that sets out 11 commitments to people affected by lung cancer across Europe. Access to early detection and screening, access to accurate and timely diagnosis, including biomarker testing, high quality data and multidisciplinary team care, clear and compassionate communication, access to reliable information, person-centred support, reducing stigma and isolation, equitable access to care across Europe regardless of where you live or what you earn, and protection of legal and workplace rights. These are not aspirations, these are commitments, and we will keep working until they are a reality for everyone. Our 5 key messages are our asks to everyone in this room. Destigmatise lung cancer, guarantee timely and equitable access to innovation, protect the rights of people with lived experience as partners in science, embed shared decision making, and make lung cancer a top policy priority. 484,000 new cases every year in Europe and 376,000 deaths. As we know, lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer death on this continent. That has to mean something to everyone here. Now, let me tell you why this conference is happening now, why this moment matters. The treatment landscape for lung cancer has changed beyond recognition in the last decade. New targeted therapies, new ways of understanding and attacking the disease, people living longer than was ever thought possible not so long ago. That progress is real and it is significant, and for the people we represent, it is everything. But breakthroughs only matter if people reach them, and right now, too many people across Europe cannot. In lower income European countries, people can wait over 600 days. Imagine that, 600 days for access to medicines that already exist. Lung cancer screening, which we know saves lives, which has a clear evidence base, is still not available to most people across Europe. And at EU level, we are watching budget conversations with real concern. Commitments that took years to build are now no longer guaranteed. The science is moving though, and the systems are not keeping up, and that gap costs lives. So we're not here this week to celebrate how far we have come. We are here because there is still so much further to go. I want to give you a sense of where Lung Cancer Europe is and where we are headed. This week, just days before this conference, our team was at Metaxa Cancer Hospital in Greece, working with Thermo Fisher Scientific on our fast NGS pilot. We're actually bringing next generation sequencing directly into hospitals so that biomarker testing takes 24 to 48 hours instead of weeks, which is the current system. Faster results, the right treatment sooner. That is practical action, not just policy. We launched our 11th annual report at the European Lung Cancer Conference last month on the mental burden of lung cancer, and for the first time we have dedicated analysis on small cell lung cancer. Yesterday at this conference we brought that evidence to an advisory board of clinicians, researchers and industry partners. The goal is not just to report what we found, it is to turn it into action. And we have the Access to Treatment Atlas, which maps treatment availability across 30 European countries. We're reaching over 300,000 people a month across our communication channels. And we have launched a multilingual new platform because trusted lung cancer information should be accessible whatever language people speak. And we are developing our own ChatGPT, a patient-centered AI tool built on our expertise so that people get reliable answers at the moment when they need them the most. A lot has happened in a year, and we are just getting started. Let me tell you what we have put together for these 3 days and why. So today we're going to hear from some extraordinary people. As you know, we've got Hugo Suarez here, and he will talk about building on the national cancer mission hubs across Europe. Mary Bussell will be addressing us shortly, and we have Elisabetta Zanon from the European Cancer Organisation, as well as Cecilia Pompelli, who's going to be talking about right at the coalface with patient-centred care and shared decision-making. So tomorrow we go deeper. We will look at the future of lung cancer in Europe through the lens of power, innovation and fair access. We will explore AI and data in lung cancer care. We're with breakout sessions in AI on screening, how evidence translates into access for people with lung cancer, and what federated data actually means for advocacy and policy. We will hear about personalised treatment and new therapies on the horizon, about the tumour microenvironment and why it matters to how treatment works, about shared decision making and what really guides treatment choices, and about what it really means in practice to consider a clinical trial abroad. We close the day with a panel on building meaningful patient partnerships in research, real conversations with space for honest reflection. And on Friday, our member organisations will spend the day together. That day is different in feel. It is a space for peer exchange, for honest conversation about what is actually working in different countries and what is not, and for co-creating change together and what lung cancer needs to do next, Lung Cancer Europe rather, needs to do next. Because we do not tell our members what to do, we build this organisation with them. I want these 3 days to feel genuinely useful, not just informative, but actually useful. I want everyone to leave with something they can take home and act on. To our member organisations, this conference is yours. You are not guests here. You built this community. Use these 3 days to connect properly, to share what is hard as well as what is working, and to help determine where we go next. To our partners and guests, I hope these 3 days help you understand what this community is and what it needs. The voice of people affected by lung cancer is not a courtesy. It is the most important voice in the room. Please engage with it seriously. And to everyone, please talk to each other. The conversations over coffee, the ones that happen in the corridor between sessions, the ones that start with someone saying, "Oh, I didn't know you were dealing with that as well." Those conversations are often the ones that matter most. Please don't skip them. And lastly, lung cancer takes a great deal from a great many people, but the people in this room give a great deal back through their expertise and advocacy, their research, their care, and in many cases their own direct experience of this disease. There is nowhere I would rather be this week than in this room with all of you. Let's make the most of it. Thank you.